For today's Fun Fact Friday, we are talking about hotspots within the socket.
And no, we're not talking about hotspots like the latest restaurant or jetting off to some warm location. We're talking about socket hotspots. We've talked a lot about it before, but when an implant is placed within the socket after the eye is removed, all four of the rectus muscles are attached, and then the tissue is closed up over the top of the implant, stays that way, and then we can put the prosthesis over the top. A hotspot is an area of redness, here's a couple of examples, that are an issue or concern that the tissue is starting to thin between the prosthesis and the implant. So as ocularists, the first thing that we want to do is make sure that that prosthesis is fitting over the implant as nicely and as gently as possible while still giving us the most movement, which is why taking an impression is so important. However, maybe it's been a handful of years, maybe there was some weight change, a whole host of things that could kind of kick this whole hot spot off. But essentially what is going to happen is we're going to notice a spot of redness that maybe has some blood vessels that are kind of growing in around it, kind of leading up to that spot. And our concern is that eventually that tissue is going to wear through and expose the implant, and we don't want that to happen. So as ocularists, fit is most important to relieve these hot spots, and then also making sure that we're documenting it. We want to make sure we're taking pictures and video so that we know where we're starting, and that, maybe we give it in 4 weeks or so with a little bit of alteration of the fit to try and relieve that hot spot. Keeping in mind, every patient is unique. So we may document this and have a handful of years go by and there's really no forward progress of that hotspot. It could just stay that way, and that is unique to that patient, which is why having a benchmark photo and documentation is so important, so we know what our forward progress has been, knowing where we started. So that is today's Fun Fact Friday on socket hotspots.